I'm sorry, but I am a precinct commitment of the Republican Party. I asked you.
You're not one of us.
No, listen, I'm giving you. Now, if you don't like it.
You are not, this is not on the call for
It
this
doesn't matter
meeting.
what's on the call.
You are out of
This goes to forum.
You are out.
You are not a precinct officer. If you are not a precinct commitment by law, you should not be here. And that is a majority of it. So with that in mind, my motion stands that we adjourn.
Second.
All
We
those in
have a
favor?
motion and a second.
All those in favor? To adjourn? So the motion is over. Sit down, Mr. Dolly. Mr. Hancock, we will have the
Credentials report, everybody hear me? Okay, LD2 has 11 present, 7 proxies for a total of 18. LD3, 14 present, 6 proxies, 20 total. LD4, 5 present, 0 proxies, 5 total. LD9, 38 present, 18 proxies, 56 total. LD10, 64 present, 31 proxies, 95 total. LD11, 31 present, 12 proxies, 43 present, total rather. LD14 is LD14 is 4 present, 1 proxy, 5 total. The present are 167. We have 75 proxies for a total of 242. There are 573 PCs listed. 30% is 171.9. I rounded it up to 172. We need 4.
thank you.
We have some more coming in.
Okay, we have the preliminary credentials report. May I have a motion to accept preliminary credentials report?
No, no.
Second? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. I call on Rules Chair Bruce Ash to present the rules.
Good morning. I'm Bruce Ash, serving International Committee for Arizona, and chairman of the Board Committee for this Kingman County special meeting. All of you PCs and myself have received these governing rules for the special meeting dated September 7th, 2013. We received them by communication at your home, by electronic email, or by U.S. Postal Service, and you have received them here today. Without objection, I would like to call for adoption of those rules. Hearing none, the rules are hereby adopted. Adoption of the meeting.
Thank you, Bruce. Okay, before I introduce the chairman of the Bylaws Committee, I would like to relate to you that our precinct commitment, that the Bylaws Committee, which has been working on this project since 2011, will give its report on the work necessary to bring our bylaws up to date. At the end of the report, the chairman of the Bylaws Committee will move to adopt the new bylaws. I will then call for a second to that motion. We will then open for 30 minutes of discussion. 15 minutes on behalf of accepting the bylaws, and 15 minutes in opposition. Per the rules that we just adopted, each person will be allowed to speak for no more than 2 minutes. The timekeeper for this discussion period is Connie Berline. She's sitting right up here. She has a yellow card that will tell you when you have 30 seconds and a red card when you're done. No amendments to these proposed bylaws will be in order, since the present bylaws call for a notice of 10 days for any proposed bylaws amendments. You will find that rule in Article 3, Section 2 of the present bylaws. There will be one vote, approve or disapprove, on accepting the bylaws as presented by the Bylaws Committee. The vote will be taken by written ballot. If you are carrying proxies, you should have the number of ballots necessary to cast your vote and the vote for each of the proxies you are carrying. At the end of the discussion period, please mark your ballot and then give either the ballot and the ballot with the proxies to your district chairman, who will deliver the ballots to the tally committee. Rulings of the parliamentarian shall be according to Robert's Rules of Order. And now I would like to introduce the bylaws chairman, Mike Ebert, to give his report.
You don't have to go up. Well, good morning, fellow Republicans. Thank you all for being here. This is great. Good turnout. Like a lot of people, I want to see more organized, with more team spirit. Let me repeat that, so we can really make a difference in the politics of this county. We need a bigger voice. We need to do better at recruiting activists. We need to raise money for our candidates. We need to do a better job of this. All of this can't happen without teamwork and a cohesive mission. I had many meetings with small groups of PCs prior to presenting to the Pima County GOP Executive Committee. In August of 2011, I was authorized by the Executive Committee to create a committee to review and update the bylaws. We had meetings at least once a month for about 2 years, plus many phone calls and emails to get this project accomplished. My team included, at that time, Sean Bearcliff, an attorney, who had to step down because he became a judge, and that was just recently. Dave Hine, who was a electronic systems engineer for 40 years and was a longtime Pima GOP member, LD 26 chairman, the bylaws creator, and also the bylaws chair for LD 9. His lovely wife, Barbara, was a councilman and mayor of Rancho Palos Verdes before moving to Arizona, and then was the LD chair for LD 26 here in Tucson. Bob Hancock was a pilot, then spent 14 years as an air safety investigator for the National Transportation Safety Board, and brought that government document writing experience to our table. My experience before real estate career was as a production engineer for Anthony B. Cassidy Associates. We had large company clients from coast to coast, companies like Intel on the West Coast and American Broadcasting in New York City. I've also written bylaws for several community service clubs so they could become 501c3s, 501c3 qualified. The only things we four have in common is the love of the country, our community, and the GOP. But we endured. We worked together for 2 years. Our finished product is the result of many meetings with other concerned Republicans. There were many invitations for input and several discussions at Pima County HQ with executive staff and other precinct committeemen. We made ourselves available to LD chairs and individual PCs for comments and concerns for the whole term of our work. Our job was to make the many needed corrections
clean up and clarify some language, and to make a few substantive changes to bring us into the 21st century and make us the organization we deserve to be. Thank you so much, and I thank you all for being here and to help us with this move forward. I move we adopt the proposed bylaws.
Do you have a second?
Second.
Okay, the discussion will go for not longer than 30 minutes. I will have the speakers who want to see the bylaws come to this microphone. Mike, do you have the other microphone over there? I have. Okay, and the other microphone for those who want to oppose. I'm sorry. Yes? Oh, okay. Let's hear the final credentials report then. Who's coming to give that? Linda, was there a change? The final credentials report is as follows. Only 67 precinct committeemen, 11 present, 7 by proxy for a total of 18. LD 53 precinct committeemen, 14 present, 6 by proxy for a total of 20. LD 5 precinct committeemen, 5 present, 5 total. LD 145 precinct committeemen, 40 present, 18 by proxy for a total of 58. LD 171 precinct committeemen, 64 present, 31 by proxy for a total of 95. LD 106 precinct committeemen, 31 present, 12 by proxy for a total of 43. LD 26 precinct committeemen, 4 present, 1 by proxy for a total of 5. On giving this report, let me ask you to please comply with the following rules for voting. After you mark your ballot, your credentials person who met you at the table out in front will be sitting in your district, and they will take your ballots in here in this room so we don't have a big push outside. Then that person will take the ballots to the tables where they were sitting out there when they collected the signatures, and each district people will count those ballots, and Bob Hancock and I will be overseeing, and we will collect the totals. Are there any questions? Okay, there's a total. The total number, 573 precinct committeemen in Pima County, 169 are present today, 75 by proxy, for a total of 244, which does give you a quorum, Madam Chair. Thank you very much for your report. We do have a quorum.
I will accept credentials report. Second.
We already have a motion on the floor.
Yes, we do have a motion on the floor. The motion on the floor is to adopt the bylaws as presented. That motion was seconded. We will have now discussion if you wish. Those who wish to speak in favor of the bylaws will come to this microphone. Those who wish to oppose the bylaws, Mike Ebert will be holding the microphone over there. The maximum time that anyone can speak is 2 minutes, and the discussion will be over in 30 minutes. I have it at 9:45, it will be over at 10:15. If there are speakers.
Madam Chairman, point of clarification, don't you have to accept and adopt the credentials report before we can go to this step?
We just did.
No, we didn't.
I just announced that we did accept the credentials report.
We didn't have a vote.
I don't think you have to have a vote.
Okay.
Anyone, yes?
I'm Mary Preble from the Legislative District 9, speaking on behalf. I would like to support these changes and through them, and I have one question, so I would like somebody from the committee maybe to answer something that I have a question about. Article 3, Section 7, and I highlighted if you want to answer. It's talking about the district reorganizational meeting. Remember when we did this last year? Okay. So it says the meeting of any legislative district that has as a governing district. I don't have my glasses on, so what I didn't understand is how could a district already have a governing? If we had all been just redistricted on some planet, if there would be a district that didn't lose a precinct or gain a precinct, how could there, who would be this group that might already have a governing district?
I think it's the reference there is to we have many precincts that cross over in other counties. And our legislative districts have done the same thing. And if the lines are drawn, right, so we start over.
Well, they're saying unless somebody else has.
Can't hear. Yeah, I mean, it's not perfect, but it's a real step forward. I've had a few conversations on these bylaws, and there's been a couple of other things. But this is a step forward, and we don't have to wait 2 years. We can do this next year. Corrections on this.
So I support it, I guess what I'm saying is I don't want any hanky-panky from legislative districts that want.
Ma'am, we can't hear you.
That some legislative district think that they still exist after we've been realigned, because we don't.
There will be 28 rocks.
Okay, do we have anyone who wants to speak against the bylaws?
Hi, everybody, my name is...
Oh, now it's close to the mouth. Okay, got it. All right, thank you very much. My name is Carolyn Schneider. I have been a precinct committeeman since 1996. I serve on the Arizona State Party as your second vice chairman. I'm also the secretary of LD10, and I'm a member at large for Pima County Executive Committee. I want to thank you all for taking the time to come here, and I apologize for taking you away from some of the things you probably would have preferred to do, such as the observance of the high holy days, getting the petition signatures for the referendum, and campaigning for our candidates. The ex-com committee voted to distribute these proposed bylaws out to the district for their review. The body, that would be the executive committee, did not vote for this meeting. Consider the following. The previous bylaw committee was discharged when they presented the bylaws at the meeting in December 2012. The bylaw committee, in my opinion, and according to our existing bylaws, isn't valid because it doesn't have an officer appointed to that committee. Section 1, Article 5 explains that the county chairman shall appoint one officer as a voting member of each committee. The incomplete committee, that incomplete committee expanded the bylaws to 13 pages that you now have had a chance to look at. And consider these. They are changed the ARS, that's the Arizona Revised Statute language in Article 3, Section 1, totally rewrote Section 3, added a Section 6 and a Section 7, which Mary Preble just talked about, rewrote Article 4, Section 1, added...
That I have been on the committee the whole time, and I am always in officio of every committee. So
Point of
the
order,
members
the
can
chairman is
executive
supposed to be a
committee
moderator, they are
members.
not
And
supposed to take position.
Pointing out order of fact.
Can I do that?
My name is Linda White. I'm Executive Director of the Committee on the Republican Party, Secretary of the State Party, and more titles that I've had that don't count now. I would like to support voting for these bylaws. I know that members of the bylaw committee have watched them work on trying to get all the precinct committeemen involved in updating these bylaws, yet they haven't been updated in 25 years except for 2011 when we had to put an amendment in there, and I think we all remember that meeting. They worked very hard on this. These have been sent out by email, by mail, on the website. Every PC is given an opportunity to put their expression of what they'd like to see in, out, removed, added in these bylaws, and I hope today that we can all vote in favor of passing these bylaws. Thank you.
Speaker who wishes to talk against the bylaws? Paul, are you speaking?
I will.
Could you hurry, please? We're running close out of time.
I'm going to yield my time back to Carolyn.
No, that doesn't work.
I'm saying that a person can't speak twice.
I believe our rules say that you can only speak once. Mike, I believe our rules say that you can only speak once.
No, it says you can yield time. So it's 2 minutes and then you can yield the time, but you can never do more than 15 minutes. It's in your rules.
Mr. Rules Chairman, what do you show? Bruce?
Let her speak. Let her speak.
Go ahead.
Thank you for giving me a second chance to finish what I consider some of the points that you all need to consider to vote this down. The proposed conflict of interest section in Article 5 denies the executive committee members that you elected an opportunity to vote. So there are quite a few issues in these bylaws that really need to be massaged. I suggest that the body table the bylaws action on today's agenda, ask the ex-con to appoint a valid bylaw committee, adjourn this special meeting, and spend your weekend helping our city candidates and also helping the petition signatures for the referendum. Thank you again for your time.
Anybody else like to speaking in favor?
Thank you, Madam Chairman. There are 3 points I saw that were, I heard of this characterization. I'd like to go over those and make some notes. Number 1, the new bylaws allow, I'm sorry, am I not? The new bylaws allow a chairman or officer at large of the King County Executive Committee to be removed from the office with a 2/3 vote of the PCs. It mirrors our current bylaws that we amended by, I believe, an 86% vote of the PCs at a meeting a few years ago. This does not apply to legislative district chairman. Number 2, Arizona state law requires the county chair to notify the board of supervisors of a PC vacancy and the name of the person recommended for that position. Our new bylaws add the legislative district chairman into the equation to allow more input. Without this addition, the legislative district chairs may not play a part in the selection. Number 3, a lot of questions about board members being paid staff or campaign managers for a candidate. The reasons they should not are twofold. If it is a contested primary, it is a direct conflict of interest to have a board member be on the paid staff or be a campaign manager of one of the candidates. If it is a contested question, Number two, it would also, or it may, breach the legal firewall between a campaign and independent expenditure. Thank you.
Choose to speak in opposition.
Thank you, Chairwoman Cox. Many of you may have received my email with comments to these bylaws. I personally think there is enough wrong with them that we should go back to the drawing board, appoint a new bylaws committee, rework them. There's a lot good about them, but there's just enough wrong that I don't think we should pass them here today. Example, I do not believe that a 2/3 vote should be able to remove an officer of the executive committee for voting purposes. They're elected by us at our statutory meeting, and if they are being disruptive or not cooperative, then remove them. There is a provision in the bylaws to remove an officer. Let's use it. Let's not just exclude them from a vote because we don't like them. Another thing is, I think the PC application process works very well as it does now, where the LD chairs, they come across someone who wants to be a PC, goes ahead, forwards that to the chairman, and then the chairman goes ahead, approves it, and sends it on to Pima County Board of Supervisors. 90 days is an awful long time to be allowed to sit on an application. I do not like that provision as well. So I ask that you vote no on these bylaws, so we can go back to the drawing board, fix those few things that are wrong with them, and present you with a good bylaws, say at the next statutory meeting. Thank you.
Yeah.